Hey everybody, it's Ron from Pick Dawgz, and this is Ron's Rundown. We're going to go over the MLB games scheduled for Tuesday, August 12th, 2025. If you like this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Put those baseball picks in the comments section below. And if you're looking for my best bets, the games I love the most, including my daily rundown best bet in Major League Baseball, you can find those at the premium picks tab at pickdawgz.com. There's also a link in the description. Alrighty, here we go. Here are the games for Tuesday, Major League Baseball. First up, we've got the Seattle Mariners taking on the Baltimore Orioles. We've got Dean Kramer and George Kirby as the starters. I was really not impressed with the Orioles' offensive showing this past weekend against the A's. I mean, this is an athletics team that's consistently struggled with its pitching staff. They were sellers at the deadline and sold Mason Miller and J.P. Sears. They featured two pitchers with not a lot of major league experience as starters in that series, in Perkins and Morales. And yet the Orioles still scored a combined 8 runs in those 3 games. They lost the final 2 games, 11-3 and 3-2. And a lot of their damage was done in the early innings of the first 2 games, at least, of the series. So just not a lot of life from the Orioles offense in that series. And now you're going up against George Kirby, who's in great form right now. He's given up 2 runs or fewer in 3 straight games. All those were Mariners wins and run line covers with great strikeout stuff from Kirby, and all 3 quality starts. He went 6+ innings. So he's in great form. Dean Kramer on the other side, while he's pitched really well at Camden Yards this season, he's not in great form overall. His last 11 innings, giving up 14 hits and 7 earned runs with a couple of home runs to go with it. At least 1 home run given up in 3 straight outings, and the Orioles are 0-4 in his last 4 games. So for me, I got to roll with the Mariners in this one. I think they have the better lineup, the better starter, and the better bullpen. Next up, we've got the Marlins and the Guardians. We've got Jansen Junk and Logan Allen as the starters. The Marlins have been a great road dog this year, but they weren't in that last series against the Braves, even as a road favorite in a few of those games, losing 4 games to 1 in a very rare 5-game series with a makeup doubleheader in the middle. And there were some lopsided final scores, 7-1 twice, an 8-6 final score in favor of Atlanta. So the Marlins gave up a lot of runs. I'm going to roll with the Guardians in this game. I think Jansen Junk will pitch okay. I've mentioned some regression concerns in his game with some pretty steep expected numbers, but I don't think he gets crushed. My problem is the Marlins bullpen, still on paper, one of the weaker pens in baseball. I think Cleveland has a big advantage in that department. I think Logan Allen can pitch pretty well against a Marlins team. It's not been great against lefties in the last couple of weeks. So give me the Guardians in this one. We've backed the Marlins plenty of times this year in the road underdog role, but not this one. I'm going to go with the Guardians. Next up, the Philadelphia Phillies and the Cincinnati Reds. We've got Ranger Suarez and Brady Singer as the starters. Now, Ranger Suarez, believe it or not, has not pitched very well at home this season, but he's been excellent on the road with a 1.48 ERA in 54 2/3 innings. He's also got good numbers against his current Reds lineup. And then you look at the numbers for Cincinnati in the last 2 weeks against left-handed pitching. They're 23rd in team OPS. They've also got a 111 isolated power, which is dreadful, and a 30% strikeout rate, which is through the roof. So for me, even though it's a small sample size for those numbers, I still like the matchup for Ranger Suarez. And Brady Singer's been pitching well at Great American, but not the best numbers against his current Phillies lineup. Phillies are playing great baseball. I'm going to roll Philadelphia in this one on the money line at run line. Next up, we've got the Minnesota Twins and the New York Yankees. We've got Carlos Rodon for New York, but no official starter right now for Minnesota. Not my favorite game on the board, especially with the lack of information, but right now I will lean towards the Yankees on the run line. Carlos Rodon's got good numbers against his current Twins lineup. The Twins have not been great against lefties as of late, and Rodon's been great at Yankee Stadium this season, 7-3 with a 3.0 ERA, 66 home innings with 74 strikeouts to go with it. So I'm going to lean towards the Yankees here on the run line, but like I said, plenty of better games on the board. Next up, we've got the Chicago Cubs taking on the Toronto Blue Jays. We've got Ben Brown and Jose Barrios as the starters. Now, the Cubs were not playing great baseball this past weekend in St. Louis, but I think they bounced back. And you look at this pitching matchup, it looks lopsided on paper. Ben Brown with an ERA above 6, Barrios a sub-4 ERA, winning machine. The Blue Jays have won his last 4 games. He's been a profitable option, but I've mentioned my regression concerns with Jose Barrios, a 3.89 ERA, but a 4.6 expected ERA. He's given up at least 1 home run in 5 straight games, 13 base hits his last 2 starts combined. I think the Cubs get to him. They've actually got pretty good numbers, the current Cubs lineup against Barrios in the past. 85 plate appearances with a low strikeout rate, a low walk rate, but a .311 expected batting average and a .462 expected slugging percentage. I think Chicago, obviously their bats were cold in that weekend series in St. Louis, and honestly, they haven't been the best in the last 10 days plus, but still on paper, one of the better lineups in the National League. I think they get to Barrios. And then you got Ben Brown, who I've mentioned many times, I think is a lot better than his current ERA. I think he's definitely showing signs of improvement when you look at his last two last two outings, 9 innings of 2-run ball. His control's been a lot better. He's been able to miss the bats, 9 strikeouts his last 9 innings. I think, you look at his expected numbers, they're a lot lower than his current ERA, and I think he's going to be a great option, whether it's in the rotation or the bullpen, down the stretch for Chicago into the postseason. I'm going to roll with the Cubs in this one. I think they're definitely the value side. I like their price we're getting with Chicago. Give me the Cubs. Next up, we've got the Braves and the Mets. We've got Spencer Strider and Clay Holmes as the starters. Now, similar to the Cubs, the Mets have not been playing their best baseball as of late. I'd say it's a little bit more significant for the Mets case, and I don't love Clay Holmes in this matchup. I think the Mets will bounce back in this series and pick up a big win. I just don't think it's going to be this first game. Spencer Strider struggled in his last game, but that was against the red-hot Milwaukee Brewers. You could argue the hottest lineup in baseball right now. Now you're facing a Mets team that Strider's got pretty good numbers against in the past, with a 28% strikeout rate and 150 plate appearances. So I think Strider pitches well. Clay Holmes does not have the best numbers against the current Braves lineup. He is a closing pitcher throughout his career that's now pitching well above 100 innings as a starting pitcher in the month of August. You got to worry about the stamina, and we saw in his last game, started the game really strong. Then he started to struggle towards the middle innings, really the early to middle innings. Gave up enough runs for the Guardians to win that game 3-2. The Mets have now lost 4 of the last 5 Clay Holmes starts. I'm going to roll the Braves in this one on the money line. Next up, it's the Tigers and the White Sox. We got Jack Flaherty for Detroit, but no official starter right now for Chicago. I'm certainly not going to take the Tigers as a road favorite in this spot when they've just been, so-so on the road this season with a record a bit above 500. And Jack Flaherty's on the mound, who's, the Tigers having a great season overall, but it's not been because of Jack Flaherty. They've lost a majority of his starts. He's 6-11 with a 4.5 ERA and an ERA at 5.69 with a 2-5 record on the road. Even his last game against a decimated Twins lineup that lost players to injury and the trade deadline, of course, the Twins scored 6 runs in 4 2/3 against Flaherty with a home run and 8 base hits in a 9-4 blowout win. Flaherty's now lost 4 of his last, or the Tigers have lost 4 of the last 5 Flaherty starts. That Twins lost. The Pirates beat him 3-0 as well. The White Sox have shown some life offensively in the second half of the year. I'm going to take Chicago in this one, plus the 1.5 runs on the money line. Next up, we've got the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Milwaukee Brewers. We've got Paul Skeens and Freddie Peralta as the starters. Now, I mentioned, we thought Peralta was going to go on Monday. He's moved to Tuesday. I still think he pitches well, even though his control's been off a little bit as of late, and the Pirates have decent numbers against him in the past. I still think it's tough to expect Peralta to struggle at home when he's got a 7-1 record and a 2.13 ERA, but I think Paul Skeens will be even better in this game than Peralta. I think the Pirates win this one, and I think because of the win-loss record for the Brewers on paper, their recent results, and the fact that Freddie P has been so good at American Family Field, we can get who I believe is the best pitcher in baseball at a very solid price in this game. I can't pass it up. I got to roll the Pirates. Skeens, even though he struggled in the last outing against these Brewers, I thought was really unlucky in that outing. Didn't give up a lot of sharp contact. No home runs given up. He's still somebody that keeps the ball on the ground, can earn plenty of missed bats and strikeouts. He's got a 36% strikeout rate against this Brewers current lineup. I got to roll the Pirates in this one. They backed him up in his last game against the Reds. I think they back him up again in this one. Give me the Pirates. Next up, we've got the Royals and the Nationals. We've got Michael Wacha and Mitchell Parker as the starters. Obviously Michael Wacha struggled in the month of June with an ERA above 5, but since then he's been great. He's been a consistent option for the Royals when they really need him to step up. Seth Lugo's struggled recently. Chris Bubich has been out of the rotation with an injury. Cole Reagans has missed a majority of the season as well. Michael Wacha's been that stopper of this rotation recently. They've won his last 3 games, 2 runs or fewer in all 3 of those games. In fact, 2 runs or fewer in 5 straight outings. And those 3 victories on the road against the Red Sox, on the road against the Blue Jays, and home against the Guardians, all 3 winning teams. So Wacha's pitching really well. Doesn't really earn a ton of strikeouts. Doesn't really keep the ball on the ground. He just limits sharp contact. Doesn't put guys on via the walk. And gets outs. And he's very efficient. He can go deep into ball games. I think he does so here, and I think that Mitchell Parker could be in trouble. He's got an ERA above 6 on the road. He's just not been good on the road in his career thus far. He's also just not in good form, and in general, he's given up 12 runs his last 2 games combined. Give me the Royals in this one on the run line. Next up, we've got the Diamondbacks and the Rangers. We've got Anthony DeSclafani and Jack Leiter as the starters. Now, DeSclafani pitched pretty well in his last game, but he's been really inconsistent. Before that, he struggled against the A's. I still don't love him in this rotation. I think the Rangers get to him for a few runs. This current Rangers lineup has great numbers against DeSclafani in the past. Also, Jack Leiter's got good numbers at Globe Life Field this year. 3.6 ERA, 55 innings of work with a 5-2 record to go with it. I think Leiter can go 3-4 decent innings, hand it over to a good Rangers bullpen, and the Rangers walk away with the victory in this one. Give me the Rangers on the money line. Next up, we've got the Red Sox and the Astros. We've got Dustin May and Spencer Arrighetti as the starters. Now, in very small sample sizes, both of these starting pitchers have pretty good numbers against the opposition, but in their current form, I can't expect either of these starting pitchers to put together a solid outing and an outing that goes more than 5 innings. I mean, Dustin May, he really lost his control in that last start against the Royals. It was a decent start to his outing, but he only went 3 2/3, 3 runs, 6 base hits, only 1 walk on paper. But it was, there were a lot of long at bats, and the Royals were able, they did a good job of really working that pitch count early on. It was 3 2/3 innings, but it ended up being 91 pitches for Dustin May. And then when you look at Spencer Arrighetti, his first start back from injury against the Marlins, 3 2/3, 5 earned runs, 11 base hits, a home run to go with it. 5 strikeouts. We know Arrighetti's got great strikeout stuff, but this is a Red Sox team that in the last couple of weeks, one of the highest walk rates in Major League Baseball against right-handed pitching. So I think both of these starting pitchers in their current form, I mean, May's got an ERA above 7 on the road, should be in trouble in this game. I think we see a lot of walks. I think we see some ugly baseball. I think we go over the total in Red Sox-Astros. Next up, we've got the Dodgers and the Angels. We've got Tyler Anderson and Emmett Sheehan as the starters. Now, on the season, Tyler Anderson's got good numbers in Angel Stadium with a sub-4 ERA, but not as of late. He's pitched there 3 straight outings. All those ended up being losses for the Angels, and he gave up 2+ home runs in all 3 of those starts. 3+ home runs his last 2 games against the Rays and White Sox. Not necessarily murderer's row in terms of offenses in Major League Baseball. Now you're up against the Dodgers. I think Anderson's in trouble. I think that Sheehan puts together a decent outing. I look for the Dodgers to win this game on the road. Give me the Dodgers on the run line. Next up, we've got the Padres and the Giants. We've got Nestor Cortez and Robbie Ray, a pair of lefties on the mound in this one. Now, this is a situation where neither of these starting pitchers have great numbers, unlike that Dustin May-Spencer Arrighetti matchup against the current opposition. They both have struggled against these current rosters in the past, but when you look at the current form of these two offenses, especially the Giants, who have just not been great against lefties basically all season, I think it is a decent matchup at a pitcher-friendly ballpark like Oracle for both of these starting pitchers to have good outings. And I think we have a low-scoring game in this one, honestly a low-scoring series, and I think that both of these bullpens are certainly capable of keeping the game under as well. So give me the under in Padres-Giants. Next up, we've got the Rays and the Athletics. We've got Shane Baz and Jacob Lopez as the starters. I mean, would you believe the A's are 9-2 in Jacob Lopez's last 11 starts? He's been a really profitable option for the Athletics and their moneyline backers as of late. He's been really sharp in the month of August so far. 12 2/3 is shutout baseball with 15 strikeouts to go with it in the 6-0 and 5-1 Athletics victories. It's tough to go against Jacob Lopez in this matchup, and I know he struggled a bit against these Rays earlier in June, but he's in much better form now, and Shane Baz is not. I mean, he's been struggling with the home run ball all season long. He's given up 9 earned runs his last 2 games combined. I'm going to roll with the Athletics in this one at a solid price on the money line. And that's it. Those are the games for Tuesday in baseball. Hope you enjoyed this video. Again, if you're looking for my best bets, you can find those at the premium picks tab at pickdawgz.com, and there is a link in the description. As always, this is Romanelli. Good luck.